Hey guys, today we're going to quickly go over the updated 120mm and 380mm barrages. They just had their spreads reduced as well as increased the number of barrages each one fires off. So first I just want to show the barrages and their new spread. So this first one is going to be the 120mm barrage. This next one is going to be the 380mm barrage. Now we're going to be using the 120mm barrage against a heavy outpost. Then we're going to have the 380mm against a heavy outpost. Now I'll just quickly show you the details to compare the call-in times and the cooldowns. Then I just wanted to compare with the Orbital laser. I think it's just kind of obvious now in beating a dead horse by saying that this is the best stratagem in the game. It's just perfect for taking out enemies, clearing outposts, and even some of the nests on the bugs. I know my placements on these were all, not perfect. You could definitely see better or worse outcomes based on where you throw them. But the Orbital laser is just too easy to use. You just plop it down and just easily, destroyed a cannon tower, wiped out every factory -1, and killed a lot of enemies in the process for a heavy outpost. I personally like to run the Eagle airstrike, Orbital laser, and the 500kg bomb and a support weapon. It just kind of varies on the mission. The Eagle airstrike is great for taking out enemies and buildings and outposts. You can also even one-shot the automaton tanks if you time it and place it right, and is unlocked at level 2. The Orbital laser is objectively the best stratagem in the game, and you should always run it once you hit level 15. The 500 kilogram bomb is great because it can one-shot battle titans with good timing and also wipe out a large group of clumped up enemies. The timing isn't too hard if you throw it and bait the titan into an attack animation, and this is also unlocked at level 15. In all honesty, the 120mm and 380mm barrages are not that bad. They're actually pretty good considering they're unlocked at level 5 and 8 respectively. Just having to consider the fact that running these would have to replace what I currently run, I just don't see them being too useful. But I would say they're 100% worth using if you're under level 15. The 120mm barrage is great for bombarding a small area. It can be great for clearing out enemies and buildings clumped up together. The 380mm barrage covers a decent area too. I was kind of surprised at how many enemies and buildings it took out. But again, I will always just kind of prefer the Orbital laser and Eagle airstrike for buildings. But in the grand scheme, I think the barrages are okay, and these were definitely well needed buffs. So should you run the buffed 120 or 380mm barrages? I'd say if you're under level 15, you should definitely run one. I feel like, they're unlocked early on. They can do decent damage to outposts and enemies. I think these could easily destroy medium outposts as well since their spread has been reduced. I just use the heavy outpost as an example since it would be, the most effective to show there. If you're a higher level, I would really suggest that you always run the Orbital laser at a bare minimum. Honestly, comes down to preference, but running a support weapon and laser already takes up 2 slots. Some modifiers will even restrict you to only 3 stratagems. I just can't see why the last slot would ever be filled with barrage over, the countless eagles. If you're running a full squad, I could see one person bringing a barrage, but in the grand scheme, I think it's just more useful to bring another stratagem.